just throw them all down there.
Yeah.
You had the Roots. You had the Roots. You had Usher. You had Wiz Khalifa.
Okay.
You had Waka Flocka. You had Ray Shrem. You had Pretty Little Lights. You had Flume. You had Bass Nectar. Everyone was crazy for Bass Nectar. Like literally, the fans there are super crazy, bro. Like crazy. They won't let you leave. They won't let you leave.
What do you mean fans?
Like Bass Nectar, like his groupies, his fans.
Oh.
Like they literally would like sit in the crowd and literally like as you're trying to leave, they would like, no, you're not going anywhere.
That's hilarious.
I'm serious. It's crazy. But that was a few names that were there.
You had a good time?
Oh man, it was like I never been to any other festival, you know, like a paid festival that you stay overnight and everything. But
so there was camping involved.
Yeah, it was camping. It was a camping one.
Big fan of the camping.
You know, and bro, I've never experienced a festival like a place like that ever until I went there.
Yeah, I think a lot of times like the activities or events or festivals like that, they take you out of the normal reality you kind of experience, because like everybody in that scenario or that's there's not like one negative person or like one person that's like has like had a crappy day. Like everybody's having the best time of their life.
That is the crazy thing.
And so like a lot of times when people leave that environment, they can get depressed because they're like, gosh darn it, dude, why isn't everybody happy now? Like why are we all like back to like not just like on this high all the time?
That's the crazy thing.
Yeah.
It's like, and then when you get back to school, like I went back to school, and I think it was like finals week. It was like crazy, and I remember I wore my Okeechobee shirt, which I kind of got, and I remember like, you know, throughout that entire day, people was like, dude, Okeechobee, you know, and I was like, dude, spirit lives in.
Spirit lives on.
Yeah, spirit lives on, my bad. Spirit lives in.
Or lives into it.
I was meaning live in
lives
you.
in to live on.
Live on, yeah, exactly.
Do you think you're going to any more festivals or anything like that?
Honestly, that one was a big, like, I'm like the biggest guy, like, I hate to say it, biggest cheap guy. Like I don't like to spend like $500 or crazy ridiculous amount of money on tickets and stuff.
Yeah.
But I mean, if it was an experience like which I had like that, you know, of course I would do it again. Could I just do it any time? Not really. You know,
Oh yeah.
You know. Yeah. But yeah, I definitely do it again.
Cool. I know. I think I've been going to music festivals now for maybe 2.5, 3 years now. Like the past, like since I've been doing it. I've been to a good amount now. Not like I'd have to actually think about it. Because I originally started out with more just like one night, kind of like raves, and it's transitioned to like multi-day music festivals. And it's now transitioned to where I actually like go to one where you camp or whatever. And those are.
You love those, right?
Yeah, those are completely different experience. Just because when you camp,
you're in it.
Yeah, you're
in
it.
Moment.
Yeah, and so you never necessarily leave it. As far as the moment you're in, like you're saying, but then just the way you meet people is totally different too, because then you're seeing that same people throughout the entire day, like the same area, so you know where they're going to be at. So it just makes it for better interactions to occur rather than just in the crowd. Because in the crowd, you can like, I've been in the crowd before, and like somebody will hand me a joint. I'm like, yeah, dude, let's do it. Like, and you kind of connect that way, but like then you give back and like you still dance, but then there's no other like interaction afterwards. So like when you have that camp group or that campsite, you're there, and depending if you make your own food or whatever, because that's what we did in Iceland, because I went to a music festival there, you make your own food there, and then you invite other people, and so all of a sudden you're around the campfire or the camp area, and you start meeting people that way, and then you go with them out to dance, and then you come back, and then you just like converge, and like, it's just a cool way to continually just interact with people, I would say.
I agree, and I would say too is the one thing I definitely would take away from just my personal experience of festival, like I would say the number one thing that kind of made me love it was it grew my passion like for music in a whole nother way. I literally, it's like, you know, like you just said, seeing all these people, you know, and that like with not a negative, you know, part in their body, you just in that moment, just in this moment, I also just seeing the performers, all these performers. You have good performers, and you also have, not so good performers. But you see the good, I would say great, the great performers, like, you see them pour their hearts out, into the music that they've written, the music that they, and they literally, you see them pour it out, and it literally just, the crazy thing about it is, like, if you look really close, you can see it just pour all over the audience. And the audience literally just like absorbs all that energy and all that love and all that support of just that foundation of music or wherever it is, and they just give it back. And it's like this communication of something going back and forth with, and that's what kind of like built me to make me even more want to become more of a performer. It's just seeing that many people, be touched in so many ways.
Yeah, they're all being united through music.
Oh.
And a lot of times the artists themselves, when they're playing in front of that like big of a group, sure they start out the music the way they want or whatever, but like once people get into it, then they start to reading the crowd. They start to read the crowd.
I love that.
Reading the crowd, like especially if it's the kind of music where there's drops, then they kind of have to make sure they're not going like too fast or too slow and time it right. Make sure there's kind of a little rest in between.
That everyone is on it.
Yeah.
Bro, I get you. Everyone's on.
But it's a different scenario every time because like different crowd sizes kind of create different dynamics. So if you go to like a stage where there's maybe like 100 or 200 people, and it's very intimate, and it's really cool because you can get like as a fan or an audience member, you can get really close up and just really jive and stuff,
Exactly.
and like you can actually make genuine eye contact with the artist if they're wearing sunglasses. Yeah, so then like I'm sure they could do like a little almost personalization into the performance based off what they're seeing from you or whatever the case.
Yeah,
but then but then dude, if you're in a big atmosphere crowd, dude, it's like it's still awesome because like just that energy that exists there. And then I don't know if you've ever been in like so when I was in Iceland, one of the performers I saw, I don't know if you've ever heard of him, he's called The Prodigy. He's a UK band. He's a little,
sounds familiar.
Yeah, I don't know how I would describe it because he's been out for a while. But anyways, probably the best performance I've ever seen in my life because there's a mosh pit tied to it. And I've been to mosh pits before. This is by far the best mosh pit I've ever been. Just how it was orchestrated, and everybody in the crowd was just so like etiquette. They went etiquette into it. Like all of a sudden, I don't even know how it even. I don't know how those things even start. Like who all of a sudden's like, we're gonna do a mosh pit. Like who decides that? Like unless it's unless it's like tailored to the songs or whatever. But all of a sudden, this giant circle forms, probably from like where we're at right now to like, I don't know, one of those gray poles out in the distance. So it's just this massive circle, and for 5 minutes, everybody's just like holding their position in the circle. And the next thing you know, the artist, the prodigy, is like, where are all my warriors at? And then all of a sudden, everybody just got like primal, and like people would either, there weren't that many people did this, but like they would line up like in a football stance.
Everyone knew what it was.
And like one of my friends would just like his eye vision just all of a sudden like went into like killer mode. He was just like jacked and stuff. I'm with like two of the girls in our group, and I was just gonna be next to them just because like when things go down, like they're gonna get pushed away. So I was like, I'm gonna make sure that they're like beat up here. But like, yeah, everybody was just like ready to go, and then all of a sudden, I don't know when the beat dropped a little bit, then everybody just like jumped in and we just banging and stuff. But I was talking to one of my buddies who was there. He's from Canada, and he wrote this long post on Facebook about just like his experiences with mosh pits and etiquette that goes into it. And it's just like it's an experience you can't fully understand unless you actually go through it. Because it's just like you're just with a bunch of people in such a close quarter space, but everybody gets along so well, and there's a camaraderie that comes after it when you're all done. Like even if like people in the crowd like fall down, like instantly there's always people that come down and just like bring you back.
Exactly. It's really cool you said that because okay, so I've experienced a mosh pit a few times, and a lot of people may be surprised because I'm not that kind of like I don't carry it out on me, but I've definitely experienced it, and I love that. But like just like what you said, how you have like the entire you may have like 1,000 people in the audience, and then you have that that let's say 100 people who just start interacting. Not only cause you have this 1,000 people who are just intimate with this music, but you have this 100 people who are just on another level of intimacy with this music. You know what I mean? And that only they can like experience whatever is going on. And hey, if you want to feel it, come from the back, come over. When I was at Okeechobee, one experience that made my experience so crazy was those type of experiences. It was Ray Shrem. Are you familiar with Ray Shrem?
I haven't. No, I don't recognize that guy's name.
Yeah, they it's like
what kind of music is it?
Hip hop.
It's hip hop. Okay.
Yeah. They do hip hop.
Okay.
And they they make music where I'm not really like I never really would listen to their music, but because their performance only kind of got transitioned me over to listening to their music. Like I said, I never was listening to music, but like they the guys who sing the song. I don't got no type.
Okay.
And then they did and I was, like I said, I wasn't really too for them until I saw them perform, and I was like, okay, so with that energy, the way they're performing, the way they're like, that's something where I can definitely, I can learn from. Something I can and they did this one thing. It's called a song called Swang, and it's like everybody like to swing, and they literally said everybody. I'm telling you, it was about at least maybe I might be exaggerating, at least 10 to 15,000 people there, and they had everybody get in a circle like this. Like this, bro. Like
swaying back and forth.
And everyone just but it was in a circle, and it was it was the craziest thing ever, because I'm like, how do you get thousands and thousands of people to do something like that? It's like so much power, so much it's incredible. It fascinates me because that's just such a bond just constantly happening. And
you go back to one of the things you want to do before you die, being able to have an influence on people like that. That would be a way, from an entertainment standpoint, influence people that way, where everybody comes together in a sense like that. This mass congregation of doing an activity together, and really no thought goes into wait, who am I doing this with? People I don't know? Oh, wait, what's your background? Oh, what should I do it with you? Oh, I don't know, but no, it goes out the window. Everybody's just in tune, just being in the moment, being present, just wanting to enjoy the whole experience itself.
Yep.
And man, all barriers are just gone completely.
Out the window, right?
Yeah. It's a beautiful state to be in. It's a beautiful state to be blossomed in. It's a beautiful state to just jive in.
I think I've heard jive. I'm pretty sure that's how it is.
You're definitely a dancer. Yeah, man. Kind of speaking of music festivals, the next one I'm going to is next month. It's in Atlanta, Georgia. It's called Imagine Festival. And
you going to Imagine?
Man, do you know about it?
I know about it. I have some friends that are actually interested in going there.
Really?
Yeah.
Me and one of my buddies I went to school with for personal training. He works in Destin, Florida, but me and him are going we're going to camp and meet a ton of people. But we're going next September, man.
Gosh, dude. Yo, now that I know that you're that much of a traveler, bro. Dude, let's link up, dude. Let's do these festivals, brother. Yeah, because I've only been to one, bro, and
I think it'd be cool over the next couple of years. Yeah, just build a network.
You know what I mean?
People, one of my friends I met in Iceland. She got me in touch with this one dude, and I just messaged her over Facebook so far. But I guess he lives a life right now where he just travels from festival to festival. And I don't know much about him, but he seems like a really deep person to talk to. I mean, he just lives a life of just going to festivals.
How old is he?
I don't know. I haven't done my research. I haven't done my research, but I guess he lives in Atlanta, so that's why I reached out, because I was like, oh, dude, is there a way we can just meet up or whatever, and kind of thing. But just from a little I know of him, my friend told me, he always has this giant dragon pole or something like that. He always carries in the crowd. So.
Oh yeah, dude. There's a lot of people who like do like crazy stuff, like they like carry like crazy like totems and
totems. There we go.
poles and stuff. But he has a dragon.
Yeah, I don't know much about him, man, but like he's
Okay, who's gonna be at Imagine now?
See, that's the funny thing. So I never like I bought my ticket like a long time ago